What should I do when I don't want to live anymore? This recently asked question has to be the most life-altering question anyone could ever ask about life in the here and now. It obviously is being asked by someone whose feelings are teetering on the edge of hopelessness. Friends, welcome to Bible Words. I'm Pastor Dave, your host. Thanks for tuning in as we consider this heartfelt question about personal survival. You know, whenever the pain of living becomes greater than the fear of dying, death becomes that unthinkable option that people will consider for themselves. And the best and the wisest course of action during times like this is to follow the choice that others before us have made. And that is to ask ourselves, why? Why do I feel this desperate and hopeless about life? This is what the psalmist asked himself in Psalm 42. Why are you in despair, O my soul? And why have you become disturbed within me? The psalmist used a key word to describe his heart's condition. It's despair. Why are you in despair, O my soul? He also mentions being disturbed. That must have led to desperation, and from desperation all that remains is the final despair of soul. You know, when we reach the point where we hurt so badly that we feel like life cannot go on, we have to stop that cycle of thought and change our focus from how bad we're feeling to why we feel that way. You see, there are so many things wrong in our broken, sinful world that can cause our souls deep pain and great sorrow. But what I have personally discovered is that the difference between great sorrow, which, though exceedingly painful, can be managed and recovered from, and that final despair of soul is this. The despair of the human soul is a condition that results from the death of its God. When we've come to the place in our thinking that we conclude that our God is dead, then despair is all we have left. But as long as our God is alive to us, we have hope in living this life, which is exactly what the psalmist said. Why are you in despair, O my soul? And why have you become disturbed within me? He says, hope in God. Hope in God, for I shall again praise him for the help of his presence. In his momentary despair, the psalmist makes the wisest choice. He reminds his soul that their God was still alive, so all is not lost. Hope still lives. Yes, great sorrow still remains and will have to be managed and healed and be also, and he recognizes that. He says, my tears have been my food day and night, while they say to me all day long, where's your God? See, there's no silver bullet or magic prayer that one can say that will instantly remove all of our pain. But the process of heart transformation from despair to hope begins by remembering that your God has not died, and then praying to him, asking for his healing help. He's still alive, wanting to be the solution to your pain. These things, he says, I remember and I pour out my soul within me. For I used to go along with the throng and lead them in procession to the house of God with a voice of joy and thanksgiving of the festival-keeping multitude. See, God did not create us to walk alone in our despair. Each of us needs a faith family, a local church, to walk with us when we are in the valley of the shadow of death. In that valley, we need to be seeking fellowship as well as praying to God for help as we process through the pain. He says, oh, my soul is in despair within me. Therefore, I remember you. I will say to you, God, my rock, why have you forgotten me? You know what? It's important to be absolutely transparent with God in our prayers to bring our pain to the surface of our thoughts. And that might include angry thoughts against God as it did for him. That's okay. Just keep talking to God, seeking his presence in your life. The psalmist shows us how this worked out for himself. He says, why are you in despair, O my soul? And why have you become disturbed within me? Hope in God, for I shall yet praise him, the help of my countenance and my God. Folks, I will be praying that God meets you in your pain. And if that sense of despair continues, please call for medical help. If your feelings are due to a chemical imbalance, you are going to need to see a doctor who can prescribe medicine to bring your brain chemistry back into balance. Friends, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and share Bible words with your friends. See you next week.